And Helen Zille says, no leftovers. We cooked and served everything. Hashtag Showmax Roast of Helen Zille. So there is a roast of Helen Zille that is coming in May. That we need to be waiting for. And so she posted this, Helen Zille posted this. My response was, this PR will not save the DA from being cooked in the coming elections, and nothing will be left over. So yeah, so that's my take on this. I can't wait for the roast of Helen Zille, because we've never seen a roast of a politician in one of these shows. We've always seen a roast of celebrities and influencers and entertainers, not politicians. So I can't wait to see this one. I'll be watching. Chris Excel is putting out an advertisement for Mzakes Kitchen, and he's showing us what they offer in this winter. And then he says Mokhodo, hot body or manqina, we've got it all. Top it off with the warmest dombolo in the world. Follow Mzakes Kitchen, and then you can get it Uber Eats, Baza Eats. And then my response was, what do you think about Mzakes Kitchen? So I wanted to hear the experience of people who have actually ordered and tasted this service, this product. And most people says black excellence 53.1%, average 9.7. I will order first 12.6. I don't know, 24.6. So 557 people participated. People are in support of Mzakes Kitchen, but others have not yet tasted. They have not yet gotten an experience of service. And others are complaining that it's pretty expensive. EFF follower Tabakwena says the masses agree that Orania must fall. And then there's a video where you have followers of EFF or people who are attending, curious to hear what this guy has to say. With Orania must fall, others with Orania must fall, others they don't have t-shirts. And then there's this guy talking about how Orania must fall. My response was, our society doesn't need the existence of EFF or any political party that divides our society. EFF must fall. When they say Orania must fall, EFF must fall. So I don't agree with the existence of Orania. I also don't agree with the existence of EFF. Both are polar opposite. Both are instigating a division of our society. They do not promote the union or the unity of our society, and it's not good for our society. It's not good for our healing nation. A nation that has been wounded is trying to heal. This news account says women apologizes on behalf of herself and her friends after falsely claiming they've slept with Kabza. This is Kabza, the DJ and the producer. And this is the video where these ladies are saying that they have slept with Kabza. So these ladies are drunk and they are saying that they've slept with Kabza. And then this video, the lady, she's saying she apologizes, they were drunk at that time, they did not understand the significance of what they were saying, how it will hurt Kabza himself and all people around him. Yeah. My response was, the society will not be as outraged because it is women who did this, not a man. But if it was a man who claimed to have slept with a woman, you would have seen hell alive. So you see 480 people liking this, 40 retweets and 6 bookmark. So people they responded, they really engaged with this post. Dr. Nasiphi Moya, who is an executive mayor of Tshwane, says today we reclaim our city operation on Blood Street in Pretoria West. We visited building owned by the city that has been hijacked. One building has been transformed into a mini informal settlement with over 300 shacks built inside. This is a huge crisis both for health and fire safety. The people residing in this building have been connected illegally to the substation located inside the yard. We'll be removing them from this area. So here you are, you're seeing the pictures of this place. And then my response was, the NGO must be dealt with before they come with court cases trying to sue the state to block progress. So this is a good work by the executive mayor of Tshwane, and we'd like to see more of this work. But unfortunately, the NGOs, they have a tendency of always intervening. They have a tendency of blocking these kinds of progress because they're also activists advocating for these people. Africa Facts Zone account says Africa's largest economies in 2025, top 10. First is South Africa with 410 billion. You've got Egypt, you've got Algeria, you've got Nigeria, you've got Morocco, Kenya, Ethiopia, Angola, Cote d'Ivoire, and then you've got Ghana. So amongst the toppest, largest economies, top 10 of African continent, you see South Africa is number 1. Sometimes it's number 2 because Egypt goes above and become number 1 sometimes. So we're seeing these facts. This is really nice to see that our economy, it is this large. And then my response was, no wonder why all criminal scumbags of Africa wants to be here in South Africa illegally. So when I say all the scumbags, I mean the criminals. I'm not talking about people who come here peacefully through legal routes, coming to build, to help, assist, and grow the progress of South Africa. But there are those that come illegally, they come to commit crimes from jails, and they continue to come in the country to commit heinous crimes, hijacking, killing, raping, and all sorts of things. So we do want people to come into South Africa, but they must come and do all the wonderful things that we do approve in the country. The ANC Secretary General Fikile Mbalula says majority of parties, including the ANC, rejected the VAT increase. This is a video where he's claiming that the ANC has rejected the VAT increase with other political parties.
And I want not to speak on behalf of these political parties. Majority of them rejected VAT increase, the ANC included. But the ANC position with a review of 0.5% was informed by the fact that the budget had to cross and there was no alternative to other sources of revenue in terms of the budget. We understand perfectly that budget is regressive and all of that. And then they said, we mitigate the budget. Essential goods are zero rated. It doesn't make sense to our people and everyone else when we use the buzzword poor. You must ask me as Minister of Transport when it comes to e-tolls. Even people who were using buses were opposed to e-tolls. Who didn't pay e-tolls? Buses and taxis, they were not affected. But the black and the middle strata in South Africa in general protested and said no to e-tolls, and they were not paid. So we come to the budget, no to VAT increase. And this was what was coming in terms of engagement.
My response was, the clowning is clowning again. I don't know if Fikile Mbalula is actually joking here or he's actually serious, because it sounds like a joke. Because how can an NNC that has proposed VAT increase through Enoch Godongwana in Parliament, proposed it and actually supported it, how can we actually believe that they actually did not want that? I don't know if ANC thinks that people can be fooled to that extent, or people don't follow the news, or people are uninformed, but it does make sense that they can actually believe this. That's why I'm saying the clown is clowning again, because I don't think he is actually serious with this. Chris Axel says, Lord Hemi Mashaba, my vote didn't go to waste, and then he posts this AI version of Hemi Mashaba flying as a vetman. Hemi Mashaba of Action SA. So because there's a parties wanting to claim victory over the VAT increase reversal, my question was, who took credit for the VAT increase reversal? GNU, DA and EFF, they 3.6%, GNU 3.6%, Action SA, BOSA and other 3 more political parties 5.5%, all of them 7.3%. So as far as I'm concerned, the DA, EFF, Action SA and BOSA are all of them, and other parties in a GNU are to be credited for this VAT increase reversal, because they rejected this from the beginning, including the other parties in the GNU. They rejected this from the beginning, and they actually took part in actions to prevent it from happening. The DA and the EFF, they did their court cases. These ones they voted with condition, and then it came through. So it was not one party, not DA, not EFF, not Action SA. It was a combination of parties combined with efforts to do this, and it happened. So all of them are celebrating, but it's wrong of them to say that they've done this on their own. SXL says Rowan Williams will never be better than Itumeleng Khune, even if he can win a Ballon d'Or. I don't care. So I said in my response, let's settle this. Who's the best goalkeeper, Khune or Rowan? And 2,798 people participated. Most people says Khune 70.4%. Rowan 23.5%, both 3.8%, no comment 2.4%. So this issue has been settled. Khune is the best compared to Rowan Williams. He has more experience, he's been doing this for the longest time, and he did it first, and the record shows. Chris Excel says MacG has a program in his account where he helps random people. He buys them wheelchair, he helps some of them with registration, he helps blind people with facilities. No one talks about this, but one slip up, people unite to cancel him. So KSXL is speaking to an issue of MacG trending for 3 or 2 weeks with what he said about Minnie Dlamini on his podcast.
Oh, my thing is, Minnie's pretty, bro.
Yeah.
But
Minnie's beautiful.
Why can't she keep a man?
No, I think I'm suspecting with this guy. I don't know what the other guys, but with this guy, I feel like maybe he had a fantasy. Because Minnie was like the hot girl. Remember, there was a period where she was the girl.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I feel like maybe that's when the doctor was still coming up, still doing X-rays there.
Yeah,
you know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And now he's got it, and maybe he just wanted that experience. That's how I see it.
Bro-
We will never know because we went inside, but I feel like maybe it's that, and he realized that, okay, what now?
Yeah, I have a friend who wants that experience. See, I know you're watching. We spoke about it.
With who?
After this guy, it's me. Kiki line.
You're out of line, man. Oh, you want to date Minnie?
Yeah, or
Damn.
yeah, le ba mmalwa or le nna ke shit. Lena naja.
Bro, I'm telling you, man, there's got to be something wrong with her. Like maybe a coochie smells or something, bro.
No.
Yeah.
You know this happens, dog. It happens, bro.
No.
Especially with the hot girls.
A little bit.
What if she can't cook? Why?
And people are calling for his cancellation of his podcast. And people are also saying insulting things about him. And he's trying to defend him basically here. And my response was, you must defend Penuel the same way you defend MacG. Equalize your energy for the brothers. So, if you have noticed, Chris Axel does not like Penuel. He hates him with all his heart. You'll rather die than change his mind. But in this case, Penuel was attacked for saying insensitive things about the victim. MacG is saying insensitive things about Minnie Dlamini and is defending MacG over Penuel. And I'm saying he needs to equalize the energy for the brothers. But his response was Msunuka Penuel and his baby mothers. So he doesn't want to change his mind. He's proud that he's a Penuel hater. He's also proud that he's defending MacG at whatever cost, all the times. The government account, Department of Women, Youth and Persons with Disabilities, says Cash Deputy Minister, who is this one, live on Newsroom Africa, responding to unsavory remarks by Mr. MacGyver Mukwevo towards Miss Minnie Dlamini. So this is the Deputy Minister, Mmapaseka Steve Letsike. So she's the one who's going to talk and who has also summoned MacG to Parliament. Otherwise, if they don't show up, if they don't honor the summon, they might face a fine or 12 months in prison in Parliament.
Regulation of online media platforms such as podcast to ensure that the messaging on these platforms adheres to the Constitution and various other pieces of legislation that governs what is acceptable speech in our society as empowered by the right to freedom of expression. The matter will also, of course, as I've asserted in my letter, be referred to the constitutional statutory bodies for investigation, including but not limited to the Commission for Gender Equality, which also accounts here, the South African Human Rights Commission, and the Broadcasting Complaints Commission of South Africa, and of course, definitely the South African Police Service, as it may be legally plausible, among others. The legislations that we have, Madam Chair, these legislation pieces, which institute checks and balances on freedom of expression, include but are not limited to the one that I've listed for yourself, the Promotion of Equality and Prevention of Unfair Discrimination Act, the Prevention and the Combating of Hate Crimes and Hate Speech Act, the Cyber Crimes Act, the Protection from Harassment Act, and the Films and Publication Amendment Act. These are just amongst others. We raise these issues sharply, Madam Chair, because Mr. Mkwebu weighs considerably influence in South Africa's social discourse, with a following of at least 1.5 million viewers subscribed to his YouTube channel, notwithstanding countless scores of South Africans who access his content on MojaLove channel, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and other social media platforms readily available to the public. I think indeed one thing we appreciate as a department is also to highlight that podcasts are innovative spaces.
Honourable members, I think then that we will step off the item for now. We will not be calling MacG to appear before our portfolio committee at this stage. We will support your complaint, Honourable Deputy Minister, to the BCC SA. We will also encourage you to finalise your discussions with Ms. Dlamini and to encourage her to open a case with SAPS and to follow due process. We will follow the work that the Portfolio Committee on Communications and Digital Technologies will do in terms of what they've already indicated, that they would like to look at regulations to regulate the podcast industry. We know that the print media and radio is currently regulated, but we know that there is not an oversight body for podcasts or online content. So we'll keep an eye out for that.
So Ntsiki Mazwai says, I wish I had it girl privilege. Kunini ngathukwa. In case you missed it, there's quoted this, and then I responded, being equal is just a wish. We'll never be equal as people in this world. Privilege will forever exist for some people. And it's true, we all know that. The Deputy Minister of Youth, Women and Persons Living with Disabilities. This account says your sin is speaking out against their favorites. My response was, a sin is to politicize this saga and make it a big thing, because it is not a big thing. These issues between Minnie Dlamini and MacG, they must sort it out, whether out of court or in court. We can say all the things we want to say online, but we do not have to. The last thing we need is politicians getting into this, trying to ride the wave. This account says MultiChoice must cancel their partnership with MacG for the things that he said about Minnie Dlamini.
This cancel culture bullshit. Dude, let me tell you guys something. You've been trying to cancel us for years. We are uncancelable.
Period.
You cannot cancel us.
No one can fire us.
You cannot. You can try, but you won't succeed. You're either going to have to kill 300,000 people, and then there's no more chillers.
Or get them
Or
to
kill
all,
us.
or get them all to unsubscribe.
Yeah. That's bullshit, man.
Even though I do not agree with what MacG has said, but I do not support him being cancelled, his businesses being taken away from him, or him having to face unnecessary repercussions because of cancel culture. My response was, evil people always want people to suffer just because they don't like what they say. Very evil people. And then she really didn't take it well. She did the insulting thing. So this account want MacG to be cancelled with his podcast. But I really do not like people being cancelled. Let them face legal consequences if there are violations. This is between him and her. We can say all the things we want to say online, but we don't have a right to cancel people. The only right we have is free speech, and we should use that responsibly without damaging people's reputations and also committing criminal acts. This account again says this podcast, MacG, must be cancelled because of what MacG has said about Minnie Dlamini. And then my response was, this account must be cancelled. I need to be clear that I do not support anyone being cancelled, including this account. I do not want this account to be cancelled. I don't want anyone to be cancelled for the things that they say. But if they break the law, they must face the legal consequences. I want this account to reflect on what they're actually saying. They want someone else to be cancelled. How about them being cancelled? So you should wish things to happen to other people that you will not mind if they actually happen to you. So when I said that, she didn't take it well. She said I must stop following her, and then she insulted me. And then she blocked me after that. She blocked me, and it's fine. It's a badge of honor. Newsroom account says EFF leader Julius Malema says Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana does not have powers to reverse the VAT increase outside Parliament. So what I don't understand about the EFF is that when the VAT increase was proposed, the EFF opposed it. They rushed to courts to oppose it, to block it. Now it has been reversed. They're still crying and complaining. What is it that they want? Say what you want. When it actually happens, then celebrate. So my comment was, Malema is a flip-flopper and doesn't know what he wants. I feel sorry for those who are his subjects, those who are his followers, because it seems like he's flip-flopping around the issue. SABC News account says acting president Gwede Mantashe says he would encourage people to go and build in Orania if he was a president of South Africa.
You don't continue hating. Peace over conflict. And right-wing fringes regard this gesture as cowardice than a noble one. That is why you will find some of the people taking of an Orania, piece of land in the Northern Cape. They want to create it as some land that is independent. Actually, if I would be a president for more than 3 hours, I would declare that people must go and build in Orania. Black people must go and build there. And we mix them. They appreciate that hatred can never survive peace. It is peace that builds a nation. But I can't. If I was, I would say, go and build in Orania. Others go over to America and ask for their Makulubas who Trump to punish us, but they stay here. Now,
Gwede Mantashe was an acting president on the Freedom Day, 27 April, only for a few hours. The only thing that he said which was significant is this, which is negative, which is divisive, does not make sense. With this temporal appointment, he was supposed to be proving to us as South Africans that he can actually be a president. That with all the statement that he said, which is not uniting but dividing even further, a healing nation, it makes him even more questionable about whether he is a candidate for being a president of South Africa or not. So I don't think he is. And my response was, he's failing in his new temporal position. All he had to do was to be a president for a few hours, and he says this. Foolish. So I don't think whatever he said was calculated, or maybe he said it in the heat of a moment. I don't know. Black Jesus account says MacG must man up and apologize to Minnie Dlamini. We have to boycott, report him to YouTube. Enough with cyberbullying. This is MacG, this is Minnie Dlamini. And my response was, Sims destroy society, they don't build anything. So this issue, I repeat again, this issue between Minnie Dlamini and MacG is between them. It's between her and him, between him and her. All of us, we can say all these unnecessary things all we want, and insult and call for him to be cancelled, but this issue remains between her and him. If this statement was really a violation of a law, a certain law, you should pursue that and sue him. But now as we stand, we have just people just talking and taking sides. Others taking sides of Minnie Dlamini, others taking side of MacG. What MacG has said about this lady is not good, should not be promoted, but it's still between him and her and her and him. That's all. We all can just all say the things that we want to say, but they have no bearing whatsoever on their relationship, on them solving this, or even them taking this further. Empty News account says MacG suggests that Minnie Dlamini's private part might have an unpleasant smell following a recent breakup with Dr. President Brian Manaisa. Podcast and Chill with MacG is a podcast. And then this account says MacG is violent, he's abusive, he's dangerous. MacG's entire personality is violent, insecurity, and concentrated cowardice. Dress up as keeping it real, steals. And then, so my issue with him, the reason why I said seems more dangerous, because he says that this guy is dangerous. Is there any action that MacG has done to someone that is dangerous? Has he been abusive to someone? Has he been violent to someone? So all these allegations, they're just someone who is just whining online, trying to take a side, because people are divided on this issue. As much as I agree that this guy, what he said about her is wrong, because he has no proof of this, he's just insulting her. As much as she has insulted him before in calling him a rapist. So I don't know why we should take sides. We should just let this thing be between her and him and her. So I don't understand why we should all be so concerned, even speak such a very strong language of calling someone abusive and dangerous. I don't know why, really. This news account says DJ Gogo Skhotheni, who recently left her calling as a sangoma, launched herself as a DJ, embraced Christianity, became a pastor, and is now preparing to open her own church as on desks. So here is the DJ Gogo Skhotheni.
Ukuvula isonto because I can ngibomfundisa ngishumayela. So okwamanje ngisahlanganisa ama-usher ne-worshiping team, ne-keyboard, nama-drums, nama-mic, and then nomuntu ozongibambela iBhayibheli. Then ngizomsendela location mase kuhlangene.
She was here a sangoma, now she's a DJ, she's a Christian, now want to be a pastor to open her own church. My response was confusion only. This sounds like confusion to me, but we want to see how it plays out. We want to see how it will actually work out for her. But as now it's being reported, it sounds like confusion. Maybe it's not a confusion after all. Maybe it works. We'll see. This Tornado Veteran account 102 says we must hunt him down. This is MacG. We must hunt MacG down. And then my response was we must protect him. So this account says we must hunt him down. For what? For the statement that he's made to someone. Now we must hunt him down. I'm saying even though he's wrong on the statement that he has made, we must protect him because he's just exercising his free speech. and his right is equal to other rights of other people to exercise their own free speech. And the idea that we must hunt him down, the idea that we must cancel his businesses, the idea that we must make him suffer and starve to death, that idea is bizarre and barbaric, and we shouldn't support it. If he has violated any law, he must face the legal actions. If he has made a statement that defames someone, let him be held accountable. That's all I'm saying. We don't have to make these statements at all. This media account says MojaLove condemns MacG's remarks about Minnie Dlamini. This is MojaLove's statement where they are condemning MacG on the statement that he has made about her. This is MacG. And then my question was this statement going to come out if a woman said men are dogs? If this statement was made in a show, MojaLove show, was this statement going to come out if things were actually reversed? So I don't know if it is true, but what MacG has said about this lady, I don't like it. It's not good, it's wrong. But I don't think this must affect his business operation. This lady, if she feels like MacG has violated the law, she must sue MacG, and she must actually make sure that he's held accountable. But I don't think that he must be cancelled or he must starve to death because of the comment that he has made. That's all I'm saying. Liam Jacobs, Member of Parliament of DA, says you've asked for it. Here it is. The full 8 minutes of my questioning towards the executive of Netball South Africa. Here they are. They've been questioned by the Member of Parliament, Liam Jacobs of DA.
That your financials reflect 41,041 Rand across 2 years for NSA condolences. What is that? Is there anyone to respond to me on finances here? I expect the CEO to be able to respond on finances.
Honorable Member, I have to check the document that you're talking about.
You can't check a document. You can't come to a portfolio committee that represents the people of South Africa and say you must check a document. You are a CEO and you are supposed to know what is inside of your document. So please explain to me and the 250 South Africans watching now and the hundreds of thousands that are going to watch, what is NSA condolences? You spent 41,000, you ought to know.
The only thing I can remember at the top of my mind is the players that, netball players that died. That's what I remember at the top of my mind.
You spent 41,000. What did you use it for?
Honorable Member, with due respect, can I get back to get the details? Because this is not for this financial year.
No, you are correct. It's not for this financial year. It's for the 2024-2023 financial year. The financial years that ended in 2023 and 2024.
Exactly, Honorable Member. I was employed in October 2023 and I wanted to be given an opportunity to go and check, and I will report back.
So you didn't do your homework before the portfolio committee? You present us a report, you don't do your homework on the report. What can happen? Yes?
I did my homework.
Now you don't know what the 41,041 Rand was for.
Can I humbly request that I go and check those details, Honorable Jacobs?
You cannot humbly request that you go and check details. It doesn't matter how you change the wording of your request. I want the answer now.
I don't have the answer now.
So you don't have the answer?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Then I want to move to correctional services. 53,091 Rand was spent to a line item called correctional services. What was that for? And what is your name, CEO? I want the South Africans to just hear your name and surname.
My name is Mudiege Komani.
Yaleboa.
My name is Mami Diale. The money for correctional service, what happens is As and when Department of Correctional Services has a championship, they request support from Netball South Africa. And with that support, Netball South Africa will invoice them in terms of selectors, in terms of umpires and all that.
Thank you very much.
So they will pay that money.
That's fine. Then I want to know, you paid 119,217 Rand for a social media influencer. Why and who was it? And what was the results of it?
This is that was part of the 2023 Netball World Cup, and
Nope, it was 2024. It ended in that financial year.
Say that again.
The statement ends for the 31st of March 2024. So who was the social media influencer? What did they do? How much did they cost? And what was the person? What was the outcomes?
That's when the CFO is absent, Honorable Jacobs.
But we need a response, Chairperson. We need a response. There's people here that ought to account to us now, and I want the accounting now.
That's when a CFO is absent. This is what happened.
Then you sit here with silence. And I think that the nation deserves to hear the silence also, because I can feel in the room there's a tension that you can't cut with a butter knife, you can't cut with a meat cleaver. Leave the tension and give us the answers. That is what we want. So please tell me, who was the person? What was it used for? There's got to be someone here that knows that.
I don't have the details, Honorable Jacobs.
You don't got the answers. You don't have the answers.
The details.
You don't have those answers.
I don't have the details.
So you don't know where the money went.
I'm saying the details of the particular influencer.
The details of the particular influencer.
Yes, Honorable
And you don't have the results of your spending on that particular influencer.
We do have the social media report of the spending, Honorable Jacobs.
Thank you very much. Then I want to know, you spent 47,000 Rand, 47,568 Rand on consulting fees. What was that for? It's just there, a line item, consulting fees. Now the homework is being done, Chairperson. This is what happens when you study inside of the lecture. Proceed. Nahana.
Now we understand the challenges that NSA have.
That's why there's a problem. And I'm going to finish it with my last point. Proceed. I want an answer.
Honorable members, Honorable Chair, I don't think this is fair because...
Why is it not fair?
This is very detailed and it requires, had we received, we would have attached evidence of these things. Like I indicate, I'm not giving an excuse. I came in October and these financials were already audited.
Chairperson, no.
So I need to have to go and consult to check this information.
Chairperson, the reason I'm saying that is because you can't come here, account, and then have nothing to account with. It is almost as if I must call you back for another meeting so you bring your details so that you can flesh them out. We are fleshing them out now. That is when the fleshing out is happening. So can't you tell me what you spent 47,000 Rand on for consulting fees? You can't tell me, yes or no?
No.
You don't know. As a CEO, you don't know. Okay, then on the Spa Proteas, in 2023 you spent 1,440,000 Rand. In 2024 you spent 622,757 Rand. I think we know what I'm going to ask. What was the consulting fees for? It's over 2 million Rand in consulting fees. What were the consulting fees for? 2 million. There's netball players and coaches that are watching this now, wondering what happened to that 2 million. Couldn't my players get balls? Couldn't my players get kits? Couldn't my players get tackies? Couldn't my players get a court? But there's 2 million on consulting fees. What was the consulting fees for? Chairperson, I'm convinced that I was speaking English.
Yeah, Honorable Jacobs, I'm going to skip you. We have to reschedule a follow-up discussions.
So can I confirm, Chairperson, that she does not have the answers as we speak? That the CEO and members of the executive do not have the answers as we speak?
There's no responses. There's no responses.
There's no responses. They don't have the answers. They can't account.
So we have to get this on the latest stage, and perhaps, Honorable Liam Jacobs, may I request that you put that down on paper and that we get a response in due course.
And it was so embarrassing to watch these 8 minutes of these ladies cannot answer questions. They cannot account for the money they've spent on all the activities of Netball SA. You could see they're incompetent. You could see they were not prepared to account. They were not prepared to make presentation that will actually show that they are accountable. They're not careless with the money, the taxpayers' money. So what we're seeing is just utter incompetence, and it is wrong. We should not tolerate this. It's definitely wrong. And you could see they're doing a research when he's asking them the questions. And it was so embarrassing to watch, and I don't think we should ever witness this again. I hope they've learned their lesson. I hope they will be competent or be dismissed and actually get people who can do this job efficiently and who can do the homework and lead in these positions. Because all of these people are executives, like CEOs, and they could not even account. It's really sad.